Libra, welcome into your reading. This is going to be for October. So happy new moon solar eclipse in Libra. I am recording the night of October 2nd, the night of the new moon eclipse. How is this eclipse treating you guys? I am a Libra rising, and I can say that it's definitely shifted something within me, especially from my creative zone, I guess. Recently, I think I have been wanting to tap in more into expressing myself in different ways. So I don't know if some of you are feeling that or not. And I can't even make this up. I usually pull oracle cards when I am channeling and preparing for your reading and just going into meditation. And we got the moon card here. So there is a significant influence that the moon is providing you guys at this time for the month of October 2024 during eclipse season. I want to say that this is going to be the last eclipse in the sign of Libra for the next, what is this, like 7 years or so? When Libra moves into the North Node, because right now Libra is South Node. Okay, so we'll see what those eclipses bring then. But yeah, this is a whole new cycle. I think that the collective is feeling this pretty strongly. There's a lot of shifts and changes that have been made. It's also the sun in Libra at this time is also making a square to the Pluto in Capricorn retrograde that is also going on. So if you are also in your, early 40s, late 30s, you probably are feeling this as well, just because it is really squaring your Pluto 29th degree placement even. So I don't know if anybody here is of that age range. I know that I have felt that pretty significantly in the past year as well. So yeah, big changes for this sign, and if you associate with the sign of Libra. But we'll see what comes through. So for the poet here, this is giving me not only creative vibes, but it's also telling me things about you speaking the truth or you observing and speaking. Okay, so there is something about this like romanticized way of using your words. It's maybe a little embellished or dramatic. I don't mean to refer to like embellish as in lies. I mean just the class and also the offbeat creative way that you are speaking at this time. So maybe you're coming off a little different to the people that you are close with, right? Maybe because you want to tap into more of your creative side of you, not only is that coming out in the artistic way that you choose, but it's also coming out in other ways that are more behavioral, I would say. So maybe how you are walking, talking, maybe your mannerisms, maybe changing how you normally dress or something like that, your look a little bit. But there's something that just feels like it wants to come out. So this could be like a different side of your personality. This could be something like a new personality. And I don't mean to say this, and I don't want to offend anyone, but it does make me feel like that, as though there's this persona that is bubbling up within you, that is a little bit more daring and a little bit more different, and maybe just wants to express itself, right? Like you essentially want to express yourself in different ways. And I don't know, maybe some of you might be writing poetry, obviously with the poet card, but yeah, so that's one thing. But then it also taps into this truth telling. Okay, so there's something about this here. Like you have seen something, you have seen enough, I'm hearing. You've seen enough. And then there's this thing about like needing, like not needing, but you're telling the truth, but you're telling it in ways that are subtle. You're calling people out, but in subtle ways. And you know that it is karma, but you're not being really vocal and like apparent about it, you know. Like you'll say little things, you'll insinuate little things here. You're telling the truth, you're speaking your mind. But it's coming out in the Libra way, which is like this diplomatic, like, you know, you can be calling someone out and maybe not even trying, right? But, you know, offending someone or whatever, just by the way you speak, it just doesn't come out really rash or, you know, like, how can I say this? Like you don't seem like you're being an ass about it, right? Like you still keep your tact, you still keep your class and that diplomacy and even a little humor behind it when you are calling someone out, but it hits really strongly. It hits the target, you know, like it makes the point. And so you may be speaking in those ways just a little bit more frequently than normal. All right. So there's this also daring feeling that I'm getting as well. Usually, you know, depending on the situation, maybe you won't even bother to speak the truth or call someone out because you really don't care too much, right? Even though you see the truth. And even though you don't care much now, it's still this thing of like, I'm just going to say it anyway, right? So yeah, there's a little quirkiness behind that. And then you have the moon card. So let's see, the moon here, I mean, it does discuss the tides, the ebb and flow. You're intuitive, you know, sensitive to your environment, sensitive to your surroundings, side of you. I do think that you don't get enough credit for your intuitive abilities. And so maybe this is also coming out strong. The moon also does tap into our creative and vibes as well, right? But just both of these together, it's like you are, and you can see that this person, this shadow, this image has the moon in their hands. And it's like looking deep, looking within, getting to the core of something. And then the expression of it is beautiful. The expression of it is creative. The expression of this, you know, whatever truth that you have found is artistic. It's bold, it's bright, it's colorful, it's different. It's subtle, but it also catches the eye. It makes a statement. So whatever this is for you, you know, you apply it to how you need to apply it to your personal situation. The moon is also saying, talking about loyalty, talking about devotion here as well. So it's asking you to sort of reevaluate what you're loyal to, what you're devoted to, what you believe in, stand firm on your convictions and go that route, go that direction. Where are you putting all of your focus? What are you nurturing? What are you birthing, right? What are you trying to grow? What are you trying to create? That's where all of this artistic, creative energy should be going into and funneling through. All right. So it's like you have the need and the yearning to express yourself, whether that is creatively, verbally, professionally, physically, you know, some way expressing. And then you funnel it through the AKA moon, right? Which stands for this thing that you are devoted, loyal to, putting all of your focus into so you can grow it. Or this thing that allows you to see the truth, allows you to gain insight, perspective, knowledge, consciousness, and then you express it out through that thing, aka again, the moon, into art, into making a statement, into whether it's like building your brand or, you know, claiming something that's yours, right? Like things like that. So for me, it's feeling like a process here, which is great. But it is definitely, if you're feeling nervous, anxious, just a little lost, a little hazy. You find yourself really not being able to make decisions and just this back and forth. That is your indicator that's saying, you have to funnel this energy into something. You have to create, use your hands, get going, get moving. If you don't know where to start, right, then maybe write, use your words, use the alphabet, make sounds with your mouth. Maybe some of you are singing, even writing lyrics, writing music. But yeah, there's this need to really express yourself this month. All right. Let's see what's coming through for your general energy. Let's start to pull some tarot here. Libra. October 2024. It's in the general energy for the Libra, please. Yeah, you have the Page of Cups at the bottom. So this is what I'm talking about, the artistic, creative expression here. All right, take a breather. See what's coming through. 5 of Cups. Turn the pain into art. This is automatically, I'm getting like saying goodbye to the old you and doing it in a ritualistic way. Maybe a ritual like under the eclipse or under the moon, something like that. All right, so Knight of Wands and the 5 of Cups. So what is it? What is it that has you feeling sad? You're next to the Knight of Wands here, which is this passionate, excited, enthusiastic energy. You're supposed to be feeling excited and enthusiastic. You're supposed to be starting something new. If you feel like you can't get too excited about this new phase, this new chapter of your life that is literally clearly happening for the Libras at this time, you're literally ending an entire chapter of life right now. Okay. And years from now, you may look back and identify that and see that. Maybe you don't see that right now because you're in it. Maybe you do. I don't know. But you're ending. All right. So you're doing away with a lot of what you used to identify with. A lot of the things that created and sort of made up your persona, what you like I said, identified with. And maybe that's sad. Maybe you don't even know that that's why you're sad, right? Like so much has changed in your life recently that you're going with the motions and you know that they're for the good and they're for the best and you're ascending and you are learning yourself and you're growing, you're maturing. Things are getting better. So therefore the excitement and the passion of, continuing that and seeing where this new chapter takes you, the options are limitless here as far as what you can create with this next phase of your life. But you can't help but feel this blue, right? Like melancholy, slow type of energy. And I think that if you don't know what to do with that, you can prevent all of the optimism, positivity, growth that you are literally going through that is coming your way even. And I think that the best way the poet and the moon here is saying is to express yourself, maybe to get this out of your system. Maybe you do have to do some sort of ritualistic event or, thing, right? Because it's like saying goodbye and doing away with it. Maybe you are writing in your journal and, expressing your feelings in these ways. And I think that that is the best thing to do. And maybe if you don't know, maybe this is your sign to do that, right? If you have artistic abilities of any kind, I think that that would help. And it's just more of a memorial to who you were, grateful to where you are coming from, grateful to all of your experiences, the good and the bad, the easy and the challenging, because every single moment up until now has shaped you and helped you become who you are today and helped you become ready for you to take on this next chapter of your life. You are prepared. You know, you have all of you've learned all of the lessons. You have what it takes to help you get through the next part of life, if that makes sense. Yeah, there may be a lot of technical stuff going on with you right now, even. You may be in a technology-based environment. You may be learning new types of technology. You may be working with new types of technology. I think that that's also something that's happening for everyone at this time. You're going to another place, a place you've never been. You're going to experience new things and learn new lessons. There's no room for you where you were before. That life, you've outgrown it. Save that for the people that are now learning those lessons that you've went through. You know, and if you can, share your wisdom. But you're starting new. You're starting fresh here. You are communing with the guardians. I'm hearing the guardians. So this could be celestial beings, the planets, your angels, your ancestors, you know, the spiritual side of yourself. It's like with the moon, especially as well, tapping into your intuitive higher self and just really trusting and holding on to that connection that you have with God, Source, Spirit, your higher self, to take you where you need to go, you know, showing you the path, showing you the opportunities that you need to take, the doors that are opening for you at this time. And I feel like some of you are not even really thinking about it. I feel like you are, just sort of flowing. I think you're in a flow state at this time. Whatever you do, as we know, don't resist, right? All right, let's see what is in your love relationship energy for the month of October. So this is for singles or coupled. Okay, we'll have the Seven of Swords. It is not surprising. The Libra energy does rule relationship partnerships of all kinds. And we are in an eclipse, okay? The Seven of Swords is not the best energy here. So we'll see how you can use it productively and in a positive way. Seriously, the Lovers. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Swords. So what is happening here? The Four of Swords is making me feel like you were overthinking something. And usually this is a sign of like rest your mind and heal. But the way this card is speaking to me today, it's like you are obsessing. It's just too much energy spent in this. Too many hours thinking about it. Whatever this is. So I don't know if you have recently found something out about the person that you are dealing with, the person in your relationship with or talking to. It just feels like at this time, things are not what they seem. They're supposed to feel different. They're supposed to be different. And there's just something off. I don't know if the both of you are seeing eye to eye at this time. It's like the both of you do have passion and attraction and fire for one another. At the same time, I don't think that fire is like coming together. It's like, try to see what it is. I do think that what is keeping you separate from this person is very minor. I don't feel it to be, I think it's like this indirect activity. Like there's indirect type of actions that are being taken, or how you associate with one another, how you interact with one another is very indirect, which means that it's literally not going to that root and to that truth that we were talking about earlier. And I get it, you know, there's some Libra energy out there that because of not wanting conflict, you know, you save certain things for later, or you pick your battles, right? Like not everything is a battle. So some things you just put away, and it's just like, okay, should I make a big deal out of this? Should I say something about this? But because you don't want to deal with all of the aftermath, or, you know, that happens, it's like, nah. But even though you think that you are going to just forget about it, you don't, right? So it's like these moments are just stacking up in your mind. And that's where I'm thinking of like all of the dwelling on these little moments. And I do think that they are little. And all of the little moments are stacking up to be something big. So that's what I should caution you about, is that if you're not careful, this will turn into something big. This will turn into major resentment. Because it's just building up within your body, within your spirit. And it's almost like you're putting Band-Aids on something that needs stitches. And therefore, it's not going to last very long. These Band-Aids are going to peel off. The wound is going to show itself. And it may be showing itself during this time of October because of the Libra eclipse. And the best thing that can happen is that that these Band-Aids do come off, and that the truth does come out. So there's some productive conversations that can happen. And out of those conversations, you know, action can happen, and boundaries, right? And, you know, just sort of putting your cards on the table and being like, hey, this is how I feel. This is how you make me feel, vice versa. What do we do about it? How can we get back into the lover's energy? How can our flames join again and create one flame? Where is the missing piece here? All right, so we'll get more into that, I'm sure, when we go into the 9-card spread. Let's go into your career and finances. Oh, there's that same card, the 4 of Swords. For some of you, your career and finances are directly involving your relationship. So you may be in business with your partner, or make money with your partner, or just your overall money situation is causing trouble in paradise. What else for the money and career here, please, for the Libra? Yeah, you really have to, instead of dwelling on your relationship and all of these little things, you know, for one, yes, talk about it, bring it up. But the other thing is start to really dive into your financial situation here. So you can figure that out, because that needs some attention. Yeah. Not in an anxious, like you have anxiety way. I don't mean to dive into it and overthink it from that perspective. I just mean to plan it out. Put your cards on the table regarding your finances or your career, whatever it is that the problem is, and really like break it down. Okay? Do something about it is what I'm trying to say here. Because it just seems like the more you dwell and the less you take action, you're going to end up in this stagnant place of no movement. You want to get out of this energy. Obviously, your money and your career are of some type of problem right now for you. So you want to get out of it. You got to really get yourself away from the overthinking, and then come up with a plan, come up with, a strategy, right? Like, even if it is just what can you control? There are some things that you're not going to be able to control. There's a lot of uncertainty. So what can you control, right? And even if your relationship is also adding, like, it's no wonder that you're in this 5 of Cups energy here. This like down, maybe you don't have a lot of energy and you're always tired and it's just too much or too overwhelmed. There's too much going on. The Knight of Wands is like what is it that can spark your fire again? What is it that can wake you up and get you energized and get you going? There is something, because the Nine of Wands is here, but it's just you getting out of this dark mental, physical time frame and go into the light and really like see what that is. I think that it's just making me feel really heavy, really overwhelmed. I think that you just need to mentally break away from it. Step 1 is just compartmentalize all of the shit that's happening and put it aside, which you do very well. This is how your brain works, right? You're able to put the different parts of life in different folders of your mind, right? And go and pick at the ones that you want to focus on in the moment. I think that at this time, everything needs to go away and be put away. It's going to stay there. It's going to be there when you get back, right? And just focus on what makes you smile. Focus on the stuff that makes you feel comfortable and cozy. Focus on, the thing that warms your heart, right? I'm getting this feeling of like, maybe some of you need to go to your mom's house for a bit, and just feel safe and feel like you're being taken care of, if you can do that, right? Like maybe there's a maternal person in your life that takes care of you and nourishes you, or it's just like it's the weekend, or you want to take some time off of work and just stay in your bedroom and binge all day. Who cares what people say? Who cares if anybody is going to tell you anything? Like, don't mess with all of that energy for a bit, because that this is the time where you need to rejuvenate and stack up on your energy levels here, so you can come back more clear and ready to tackle your different problems. If everything is just all together and it's all stacking up on your shoulders, obviously you're not going to be productive. You're not going to be effective. You're not going to be able to make a difference and to get yourself out of this situation. Like I said, the problems will be there when you come back, right? Even if it is sleeping for a whole day straight or days straight. But it feels very much so like step 1, first and foremost, is taking care of your body physically, getting the rest, self-care, self-love, take it slow. Not thinking about all of the problems for a few days. and just protecting yourself and really loving yourself. And when you do some meditation during this time, you're closing your eyes, you're meditating, and you're thinking of being supported, being loved, being nurtured. All right. So that is even like thinking about God, thinking about mother, you know, your divine mother, like this feminine protective energy just coming and holding you and telling you everything's going to be okay. Because I think somebody here needs to hear that everything's going to be okay, you know, and just saying F it to the rest of the stuff for a little bit until you stock up on your energy levels again. And during this time, maybe the expression and getting all of this energy out in creative ways in some, you know, somehow, some way, I don't know, will also help, right? Like, even if it's crying, you know, when was the last time you cried? Like, I mean, trying to think of the Libras I know and myself, like, well, I mean, I'm a Cancer sun, so even though I say to myself, I don't cry, I know I do cry, but it's still not normal. It's still not this thing of like, I'm a crier, you know, like I the people that know me don't associate me with crying, you know, and I don't think a Libra is a crier. So maybe you do have to let out a good cry, right? I don't know. But yeah, it's just a lot. I feel so much heaviness here on your chest, on your shoulders. I hope that helps somebody. All right, let's see. Let's pull a 9-card spread, see what's coming through here. Just don't stay in there in that phase forever, though, okay? You're not supposed to be there forever. You're supposed to come out eventually rejuvenated and ready to tackle the world, because that's what you do. You're not a victim. You don't do the poor me thing. You know, you fix problems. You deal with shit. You handle your shit. And you always have, and you always will. Sometimes you need the rest so you can gain that energy back. But once you do, you'll be good. There's nothing that you cannot handle. And that's always. There is nothing that you cannot handle. All right. Okay. All right. 9-card spread here. Yes. Beautiful. 6 of Pentacles. Oh my God. The Star. The Hierophant. Sorry, I'm being dramatic, but still. It's all deserved. Yeah, stable. Very stable, very grounded. You know, once you get out of this energy here, you'll see that you're okay. You'll see what you have, your livelihood, right? You have food, shelter, your kids are taken care of, you have a vehicle, you know, and if you don't have these things, then yes, that is a concern, but they will, with the work and with the strategy and with the intent, right, will start to manifest for you. But shit. 6 of Pentacles, the Star, and the Hierophant starting off in October. I mean, like, there's no reason for all of this. This relationship thing, just put the cards on the table and say the thing you have to say. No more of the indirect, wishy-washy, like, I'm not going to say anything, I'm going to hold it for later or whatever. Just have the talk and say the things and fix it. And if it's not able to be fixed with your person, then okay, check mark, right? Either we fix it or we don't, but now is the time to do something about it. And then we decide what direction we're going to go through. We're going to go toward. That's it. Check. The relationship thing is done. Go into your finances and career, put a strategy, put focus on what you can control. Step 1, right? Do that thing. Step 2, do that thing, and it'll start to build from there. Check. That's checked off the list as well, right? So what I'm trying to say is once you come back and you rejuvenate and you get out of there, it feels like you're ready to tackle this stuff. And it feels like you that moment when you do your snap, right? And you snap out of it and you're on one thing and all of a sudden you go on the other thing. That happens here. You get the opportunity that you need. Something comes through in October that is like a sign, a signal of this is the direction we're going now. Whether that's with your person or not, whether that's with your current job or not, whatever it is, this is an opportunity. When you see that opportunity, you're going to know it, you're going to feel it, and then you'll be able to take that and make that choice. This could be also in the form of helping. Someone comes in and gives you some type of help as well. Or someone may need your help, I don't know. But to me, it just feels more of help from the universe. This is an opportunity. This is the door opening. This is the answer, the result, the phone call, the email, the message that you've been waiting for. And this is where we're going. This is what you've been wanting. This is part of your goal of whatever it is that you're working on. This is going to give you some popularity, some, I don't know, like you'll be seen. Okay. You'll be known. You'll be seen. And this is also helping with this creative expression as well. The Hierophant, this is just telling me that you need to remember who you are, remember what you can do, remember what you stand for, remember what you want, right? Like come back to reality, ground yourself, into the earth and be in this more realistic state of being compared to the anxiety and the what ifs and being emotional and all of that. This is not conducive to where you need to be, where you need to go at this time. The Hierophant wants you to ground yourself and be realistic about what you're doing and your approach to things. Okay. What else, please? Yeah, I just felt a instinctual, like a quick shift once we started to go into the 9 card spread here with the red cards. It's like you woke up, your eyes opened. It's like, what am I doing? Why am I being so emotional? Why am I being a baby right now? Like, this isn't even as bad as I'm making it out to be. And that's probably the eclipse also helping you get out of that energy, up until the new moon. Maybe it was just forming and you were a little emotional, you were a little out of it. But once the eclipse hits or something like that, it's like, okay, I'm back, You have the Knight of Cups, the Tower, and the Queen of Cups. What is this? What is this? The middle of October, there's something here between you and another person. How am I feeling? This could be a breakthrough, actually. It's feeling like a breakthrough for me, especially how the Tower is right here in the middle and how it's depicted. Even if this breakthrough hasn't been the smoothest or it hasn't been like a straight line, right? Because of the zigzags, it's still a breakthrough. However you got here, right? No matter what. But at least you're here. And this could be the conversation between you and your partner. And it's just, it's a little shocking. It's a little out of the ordinary, or a lot of conversation, a lot of words happening here. But I do think that the both of you have a big heart, have a lot of love. The Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups. I mean, this is water. This is, very emotional energy. There's love for one another. I think that somebody here sees the other person as their muse. All right. So you have the Knight of Cups. This is usually a creative, artistic type, very romantic, sort of a little fantasy, very passionate, idealizes the person that they like, idealizes the person that they love. With the Queen of Cups here, somebody idealizes and admires someone else. And maybe this is a shock for you to find out how this person sees you, how this person feels about you. And maybe out of all of the tension that's building here, and I'm hearing the word patchiness. Patchiness, like patching things up, or what is that? But more so the Band-Aids that I was saying. I don't know, it just feels, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought with the patchiness. What does that mean? Anyway, I would just say no more of that. You know, like connect, open your heart, drop the walls. And this is for, both sides. Drop the walls. Is there fear? Is there a fear of the other person not accepting you, or you not accepting them, or something like that? Is there, I don't know, like, where is the tension coming from and why? Maybe it's just the two people, like I said, like your emotional language aren't the same. But I think that this is so fixable, it's ridiculous. It's like all you have to do is just speak. All you have to do is just talk to one another. Like, what is the tension there for? Why is there this indirect, like, thoughts of things, like you're thinking things, or they are thinking things that they don't speak of, that they don't say, Interesting. I don't know. Let me know. All right, what else here? In the middle of the month, I just think that there's a breakthrough, like I said, between you and your person, and there's a lot of love coming through out of that, which is exactly what is needed. You got the sun at the end of the month. Beautiful. Blessings upon blessings. The star and the sun, forget it. This month, if you need to start anything, take a risk, like be bold, like I don't know, do something out of the ordinary, it's going to propel you to a whole other phase here, like of advancement. The sky, the gods, whatever, are definitely waiting for you to just take these opportunities and take advantage of them. I feel like this is all crooked. Sorry. At the end of the month, you have the sun, the Six of Cups, beautiful. So a lot of love as well this month. For you to be in this state of being, it's unnecessary. Oh my God, I love this. You have the King of Wands, the Queen of Cups. What does water and fire make? I always say that. Steam. Passion. Yeah, you're getting some help. You're getting some assistance. You're getting some love and some acceptance and understanding and compassion. Maybe you just were too hard on yourself and you thought that things were worse than they are, right? Like there's some standards and some type of like expectation that you have on yourself. But like I said, you're changing, the old you and everything that you stood for or you were supposed to be, like the person that you were when you showed up, right? It's not necessary anymore, like maybe you were more professional, for instance. And now with the things that you do, the job that you have or something like that, you don't have to show up like that anymore. Now you can be more creative. Now you can be more flowing and free. That's an example. Okay. Maybe before you were the mother and the you know, you had your kids and all that. Maybe now your kids are older, they've moved out. You're going into this other phase where you don't have to be mom. You can be woman. You don't have to be dad. You can be man, right? Like, what are you into? What are your hobbies? What are your passions? You know, like you can put yourself first now instead of being the soccer mom or the dad. Does that make sense? Like what you showed up as before, you don't have to show up as that anymore. So these expectations that you have of yourself of showing up a certain way, they're not required anymore. And there's more room for expression and trying new things and feeling good and stepping outside of your boundaries a little bit and, you know, flirting around with different looks or different hobbies, right? Like maybe you always wanted to start, you know, reading because you love to read. You want to be in book clubs or, you know, groups and things like that, but you never had time to do it because your children or whatever, but now you have more time. So you're getting into that, like a new hobby, new interest. And I think that your person, whether they are the Knight of Cups or the King of Wands, is there for it, you know, and maybe the both of you can do this together, right? Because the Six of Cups is here of like this pure love, whether it is for yourself from the universe or from your relationship, even your family, friends. But there are people here that support you and genuinely want to see you thrive and be happy and come out of this dark place and genuinely like are just waiting for you to be happy and smile again. You know, it's a little emotional. And I hope you do that also. I think that your life right now, this new phase that you're going into, this intermediate, right, like transition moment is definitely 100% not as bad as you think it is. And with love, say goodbye, you know, which and you can have the memories, you can have the stories, and you have the lessons, and you have everything that old side of you, that old life equipped you with. So that's never lost, right? But start looking forward. Turn around and look forward and be excited about what's to come and what possibilities are out there, because there's so many blessings ahead of you and just this wonderful, loving life that's coming your way that you can tap into, you know, if you just look ahead and look forward. Okay. All right. So I hope this helped somebody out there. Thank you so much, as always, for your time and energy. I really love reading for you. If you want a personal reading and you want to go into more detail about your personal situation, I am doing one-on-one readings. They are very similar to this exactly, but just also personalized for you, obviously. So my email address is in the description of this video. Like the video, press the thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it if you got something out of it. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Hope you have a wonderful month of October, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.